First of all, my heartiest congratulations to all of you for the Christmas celebration. So everybody loves to celebrate this occasion. Each year we remember him by celebrating his birthday. What is meant by celebration? To remember someone who is very lovable to you. We celebrate the birthday of masters, and we celebrate the birthday of all who are lovable to us. Celebration means remembrance, to remember somebody out of love. So Master tells us, you remember your purpose of human life, that is a celebration. That is the real celebration. Because when Master came in the world, they all brought all undertaking for us. They became responsible for all human beings. So if their purpose is fulfilled, they are very happy. If their purpose is not fulfilled, they are not happy. So we have to please those masters. And we can only please them if we celebrate our purpose, if we remember our purpose every moment. He who fails to do cannot celebrate his birthday. So yesterday night I was telling you, one is the inner and one is the outer. And outer cannot be without the real one. So it has a fast connection between the two, between the inner and the outer. So from the outer we have to start within that is from the core of our heart, the real celebration. So it has a very fast connection, and we cannot separate the two. So by celebrating outside, we can celebrate it also within. As for example, when we sit, when we gather in His name, it is also to remember Him. It is also to celebrate their birthday. So what is there? A new person who comes to the Satsang, first thing that he is ignorant. He is not knowing about the truth. He says, let us go there and see what is there. He comes on to examine those things. When he sits in the Satsang, his ignorance is removed. He says, yes, there is something. And he feels that it is an addition to his knowledge. Sometimes he gets some radiation while sitting in the Satsang. This is another radiation to his knowledge. Rather, it is an additional knowledge to his awareness. So then he feels happy. But then there is a veil of a curtain, another curtain. That is a curtain of duality. Otherness. He says that all who are sitting, they are separate from me. I am another one, I am the stranger one. That is also another curtain. So what the Master does, he removes this curtain by lovable way. He helps him to sit beside. He befriends him. because he is the father. He loves the child from the core of the heart. So sooner or later this otherness is removed also. This is another veil. So then there is another curtain, a very heavy curtain. That is a curtain of ego. This much he knew beforehand. It is not a new thing. It is written in the Holy Scriptures. This he learns from other people also. It is no problem. I have so many duty in the world. I must do it beforehand. It is my responsibility. I cannot forget it. If I forget, I am not a human being. I do not of any use to my family and my kith and kins. So a lot of things are there which he has acquired through the ego. So there are thousands of offshoots of the ego. Even his curtain of ignorance is removed. His curtain of duality is removed. The curtain of ego is still there. He cannot get rid of it. He says, whatever I know, no other can know. I know the best one. That is also ego, curtain of ego. I know this thing, I learned it from other. This is the simplest way. Better I should go through this way. This is mind-made problem. This is also the offshoot of the ego. So there are something which help us to celebrate our remembrance, celebrate our purpose of human every day. If we celebrate it every day, then it will lead us somewhere. If we forget it, we delay. Because the time which is past, we cannot recall it. It is gone. It has brought us nearer to the end of our life. So, in celebrating the Christmas or the birthday of our Master, is very unique if we remember it. Master tells us the best way, the very beautiful ways to overcome all these problems. So let us count all those things. What are those things? By attaining them, we are nearer to the goal. So this ego has separated the soul, the consciousness from its origin. It has concealed its activity, but ego itself is widespreading outside. If we know our difficulties, if we know our problems, the source of which is within, not outside, then we can overcome it. The thinking of every person is separate. He sees everything with its own angle of viewance. So if he knows how to differentiate, then all the diseases and difficulties are removed. Because if one becomes true to himself, even for a moment, he wants to get rid of this life. He says, no, it is a dirty life, it is not a good life. I must not remain in it. Because the very pure life that is within, that is overbrimming with all consciousness, that is separate. Because our soul is now in a cage of ego. It is very strong, it is an irony cage. Even if it want to come out of it, it cannot come out. Because Master tells us, it is very ironic cage, the consciousness or the spirit, the soul, within it is fully concealed in it. It cannot come out of it. It is the ego. It is the cage of ego. So how we can open it? Yes, there is a way. With right understanding we can get rid of it. Some master tell us, with humility we can open it. Humility is the key to open that cage and set the soul free. When the soul sets free, then it starts to fly in the high heaven. It has no problem. So those things, otherness, duality, ignorance, these are the offshoots. And sometimes a man does not understand even by giving a lot of examples. He says, no, it is not a new thing for him. But he doesn't take those words to his heart. He says, no, I know it. He knows it from outside, but he does not know it from within. To know it from within differs a lot than to know it from outside. It is a big difference. If really one knows the very mystery, the very remembrance from within, he cannot remain separate from the one whom he loves. This is one difference. We can live in the world without the one whom we love. Because on what ground? There are so many grounds. Because it is something outwardly. But what is inwardly, what is within, that is a very separate thing. He who lives the life within, he shall have no rival, he shall have no difficulty, he shall have no disease of the mind, and he shall have no barrier within. His consciousness at once will flow out of this body. It will never like to live in it. It always tries to go out. So our problems are within and not outside. Because those problems which we think these are clutching us from outside, no, they are not clutching it outside. Because we have tied them very tightly within. We don't want to let them go away. We think that if these things will go away, we will be bankrupt, we will lose everything, we will have not respect in the world. So a lot of things are there that arises out of our feelings and emotions. These are only feelings and emotions, and nothing beyond that. Ultimately, we will see that there is something to change us. We can change ourselves. If really we know our subject, everyone want to have it. This is a beautiful life. Because only by remembrance we are taken back by the one to whom we remember. It is a link. Even meditation itself is to remember the God. To remember Him breath by breath. To remember His commandment word by word. So that He is embedded in us and we also embedded therein. Our purpose is to create everlasting contact with Him. So when Christ came, He also said, if you love me, keep my commandment. What are those commandments? All those commandments make us human beings. We feel our ignorance. We must rise above the otherness and duality. We should shatter the veil of ego. All we have to do, this is his commandment, that a man must become a man. He should not simply look like a man, but he must appear like a man in the world. That was his purpose. So if we know our purpose and we stick to it, then definitely we would have the right understanding. When we differentiate, when we discriminate, without discriminate, we do not haphazardly mix up this thing or that thing together. After all, there is only one answer to one question. Why we create the second one? So, the one who is awakened, he will only give you one preference. The main preference. He will only give you one answer and not a second answer. So in this connection, we have one story about it. One time Guru Nanak went to Mecca, the pilgrimage place for the Mohammedans. There he stretched his legs towards the Kaaba. So one Muslim came there, he said, no, you are doing not right, you are doing wrong. You should not have stretched your legs towards the Kaaba. He said, for me, this whole world is a temple of God. It doesn't make me any difference. So if you find any difference, you can move my legs to any direction you want. So he did so. And thereafter he saw that this Kaaba was itself rotating. So what a mysterious man he is, he said. It has rotated even the Makkah. So Guru Nanak told, well, gentlemen, understand me. My religion is understanding, right understanding. And that is very universal. I have come over here for a special purpose to give you that right understanding and universal teaching. I am not a sticky person. My purpose is very different. So Master come in the world. Their purpose is to wake us from the slumber. Slumber of otherness. Slumber of duality. And we are slumbering on the level of our senses and the mind. It is the disciple who has to discriminate. It is not the master who has to discriminate. Masters are everywhere in the world, but they do not discriminate. They have no power to discriminate. There is only one who has already risen above the power of discriminating power. He is one with God, I tell you. It is our purpose to discriminate. So a lot of people are only misguided and misled because they do not discriminate. They say, no, Master is very humble. How we have thought over, he is humble only from outward expression. From inward we never knew, because we ourselves didn't go within. We even cared not to go within. We didn't know how to rise above these problems of the ego. So celebration means to awaken to ourselves. It is entirely a man-making. So that right from today, we start to live for ourselves, to awaken ourselves. That is a real celebration.